raining in certain spots today, here at least anyways. Not sure if I can find a dry spot. And what's going on today? I guess a lot of hardware related news in terms of things like drones I read. Although this first one with the title is like, what is this about? It says, new drone technology deployed to fight rapid OHIA death. I thought it actually related to something like, say, a human crisis or something like that in terms of maybe an emergency, like someone's dying, but apparently it deals with plants. It sounds similar to what I read before. It says, a University of Hawaii at Hilo Geographer is putting a new aerial chainsaw device to the test that could assist in the battle to save Hawaii's Ohia lehua trees from a deadly fungal pathogen, if that's how you pronounce it. It says Professor Ryan Piroy and his research team have developed a drone attachment capable of sampling tree branch samples for diagnostic laboratory testing and other purposes. Is that gonna scare people initially? Oh no, a drone with a chainsaw! It says the device named Kukwa consists of small rotating chainsaw with a robotic gripper claw mounted beneath the drone and can cut and retrieve branches up to 7 centimeters in diameter. The samples are collected for diagnostic testing of forest fungal pathogens, including those responsible for rapid OHIA death or ROD. The cutting-edge device was developed by Piroy and his team in collaboration with researchers at ETH Zurich, a public research university in Switzerland, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and R&R Machining Welding in Hilo on Hawaii Island. Piroy's research on aerial branch sampling was recently published and featured on the cover of the journal Drones. So that's kind of interesting. And again, will people be, I guess, paranoid over that drones with chainsaws, because there's some places where they treat everything so broadly, like you can attach a quote weapon to it, so you need to ban them all. Like again, ultimately it's just a tool and it depends how you use it, correct? In this case, it can benefit them a lot for research. And there was more, I guess, drone hardware related news. How about this one by Draganfly? It says, industry-leading drone solutions and systems developer is pleased to announce the Agtegrity, an agronomy consulting firm that works with California farmers on soil fertility and pest management, is standardizing on the Commander 3 XL drone platform. The Commander XL3 is a high-endurance, weather-resistant multi-rotor UAV designed for easy assembly and rapid deployment. This innovative North American-made drone can stay airborne for 50 minutes. It has 24-mile flight range and supports a maximum airspeed of 45 miles. This drone supports automated and manual flight operations, making it the ideal choice for the agriculture sector. Lots of companies using that as a sales pitch per se, just because there's so much geopolitical, I guess, stuff over drones nowadays. It says, we live and operate among vast spreads of land controlled by the US government, said Curtis Pate, owner of Agtegrity. We wanted to find a drone solution that would provide us with the best ROI and help the overall growth of our business. Extended flight time and a PPK, post-process kinematic option were priorities in our search. That's where we found the Swiss Army knife of drones, Draganfly's Commander 3XL. And based on the stats of this drone on their site anyways, it says it can effectively carry 11.8 kilograms for approximately 20 minutes. Utilize drop or witch down system to deliver payloads, strong performance in light rain and snow, North American built flight controller sensors and radios, multiple configurations for radio equipment including point-to-point and cellular link, light rain and snow. I'm surprised they didn't make this stuff, I guess, fully weather resistant. And speaking of the weather, they often say if you want vitamin D, you should go out and get some sunlight, correct? That's what was kind of interesting today, where for some reason vitamin D was trending in various places. I was wondering why. Apparently it was because of this, for example, where there's these research reports where people are claiming a lot of people, I guess, who died of things like COVID-19, they were vitamin D, I guess, deficient. It says here, vitamin D insufficiency may account for almost 9 of 10 COVID-19 deaths. Time to act. Comment on vitamin D deficiency and outcome of COVID-19 patients. So this is just an observational study, according to this anyways, and it says evidence from observational studies is accumulating, suggesting that the majority of deaths due to SARS-CoV-2 infections are statistically attributed to vitamin D insufficiency and could potentially be prevented by vitamin D supplementation. Given the dynamics of the COVID-19 pandemic, rational vitamin D supplementation whose safety has been proven in the extensive body of research should be promoted and initiated to limit the toll of the pandemic even before the final proof of efficacy in preventing COVID-19 deaths by randomized trials. There's just so much to this where you have to leave it for, I guess, experts, medical people, or whatever to research, because they even state here, I guess, although results of an observational study such as this one need to be interpreted with caution as done by the authors due to the potential of residual confounding or reverse casualty, i.e. vitamin D insufficiency resulting from poor health status at baseline rather than vice versa. It appears extremely unlikely that such a strong association in this prospective cohort study could be explained this way, in particular as the author had adjusted for age, sex, and comorbidity as a potential co-founders in their multivariate analysis. Again, I'll leave it up to the researchers and so forth to debate with each other. I think the general controversy in this would be if that is true at the end, or let's just say having a lot of vitamin D helps to fight things like COVID infections and all that, then I can imagine a lot of people being really upset. I guess in general, because during these times here anyways in Canada, there wasn't much, I guess, preventative types of recommendations. For example, maybe do something to boost your immune system, that type of thing. But I guess the biggest thing in regards to that is a lot of places chose to lock people down. So if this turns out to be accurate, can you imagine how many people would be mad over that? Where if one of the ways to help you fight, let's just say the virus, was to get out, get some sunlight, vitamin D per se, and the recommendation was always lock yourself indoors, I can imagine a lot of people being upset over that, especially people who have lost, for example, loved ones. I think the common story I read anyways, in terms of people I know, is how a lot of seniors, they unfortunately, for example, they died all alone. So if that is a factor, I can imagine just so many people being mad over that. Because I believe here too, anyways, there were some officials that actually said it's, quote, fake news that vitamin D, let's just say, helps with things like COVID infection and all that. So again, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Mr. Speaker, the Health Minister has previously questioned my concern for science, and today I return the favor. At least 75 recent studies have shown that optimal vitamin D levels significantly reduce susceptibility to COVID-19 and significantly improve health outcomes if people do get infected. It has been documented for decades that Canadians have suboptimal vitamin D levels, especially during winter. Can the Minister explain why Health Canada's website states that most Canadians are getting enough vitamin D and doesn't actively recommend supplementing?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would encourage the member opposite to not fall prey to the myriad of fake news articles that are circulating around the internet about ways that people can protect themselves from COVID, and trust that the Public Health Agency of Canada only puts science-based credible documents up, guided, of course, by our Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Tam, and the many scientists that work for us. Mr. Speaker, what Canadians need now is trust, and they need to be able to trust in the information that their elected officials are sharing. And I would urge the member to get his sources from credible sites. Thank you.
right, see you guys later.